Are you feeling drained? Hopeless? Empty? Me too. Let's work through our bullshit together. Book reference. So, step one, the first step of our healing process is to become aware of any time we fall from a state of peace and contentment and ask ourselves what exactly triggered such change. We're going to clearly identify the thoughts, feelings, or actions associated with the situation making us uncomfortable. What is arising? Feeling disconnected from my relationships, burnt out at work, and increasingly less confident about my financial situation. So I could say anxiety and depression is arising. Once we've identified the trigger, we're going to look at it objectively and take note without judgment. We'll observe the body and mind's behaviors and patterns impersonally. Remembering the impersonal nature of our inherited ego removes unnecessary judgment about it. We'll have the courage to look at our triggers with the eyes of the observer, just witnessing all that being human entails. Awareness is the step in the healing process, the first step. So once we identify the trigger, we can identify the root program, belief that generated the trigger, which is step two. So we reflect on the trigger and then we become curious as to what it's actually revealing. We're going to search for that deeper belief. So instead of following the mind down the supposed rabbit hole here of blame and rationalization, we're going to inquire as to what the trigger says about ourselves instead. So can we identify any patterns with this particular thought, feeling, or action? Have we felt this trigger before? Have we experienced it before? Is it connected to anything in the past? Does it happen often? And this is going to reveal our deep belief, right? We're going to use I language instead of blaming others, and the trigger didn't make me fall from peace. It might be uncomfortable or even painful, but my response to the trigger is always the free choice, right? Viktor Frankl. And so now is my chance really to implement honesty, self-inquiry of my own reactions to the trigger without self-reflection. Without self-reflection, we will continue to focus on the external event and never reveal the true source of the suffering, which is much deeper and entirely internal. So we can't remove a tree by trimming its leaves. We have to dig out the root. So like for me, maybe I believe that I'm not good enough. Maybe I believe that I'm just inherently bad. Maybe I believe that I deserve to be suffering or in a state of constant deprivation. Here's their examples, right? So anxiety arising means, I believe the worst case scenario is going to happen to me, and I've been hurt in the past. Now I'm assuming I'm going to keep getting hurt, and I've got just like distrust generally. Recovering from addiction, I believe I will only be satisfied once I get what I want. In the past, I coped with my vulnerabilities by indulging in food, materialism, drugs, sex, alcohol, and now I'm assuming they are the source of my confidence, and this must be coming from inadequacy, right? Competitiveness, right? I believe I'm not liked or loved unless I prove my worth, though I felt inferior when I lost or was overlooked in the past, and now I'm assuming that if I'm not the best or a winner, I will not be loved, and so this must be coming from insecurity. That was all very helpful. Okay, what's step 3? We're going to release and replace. So once we get what, that root program and the theme of consciousness are exposed, the next question is, what do we do? So we want to continue to live in the wounds, the rejection, judgment, overwhelm, loss, distrust, inadequacy, violation, or insecurity, whatever that theme is. If it's bringing suffering or limitation, it's time to let it go. So here's where we can acknowledge the pause in between the situation and our response to it, right? So like maybe I don't need to blow my fucking brains out, right? And so we'll breathe into the gap. You do have a choice to respond differently than you have in the past, right? Maybe I don't need to throw a tantrum or a fit of rage at the unfairness of the circumstances, right? Or whatever it is, So, we'll make a conscious choice to reprogram and restore the mind back to the theme of true freedom and lasting happiness in its original pure nature. Acknowledging that if a belief does not feel like the most loving perspective I could take, then it is not best to indulge in it and choose differently. So we'll leave old programs in the past and refrain from bringing them into the present, release the old program with a new narrative that is in alignment with our true self. So every passing experience of our life is another chance to turn it all around, and we don't have to go another minute carrying the baggage of limitations. So, for example, anxiety is arising. I believe the worst case scenario is going to happen. This is coming from distrust. And so now I can say something like, it is also possible the best case scenario will happen. My past does not define me. I will always be okay, and I'm being guided. All perceived setbacks are actually working out for my benefit in the long run. I trust and believe in the goodness of life, and anything is possible for me. How about that craving, right? That craving stemming from inadequacy? I could say something like, what I desire is actually within me. I'm tired of my cravings controlling my mood, and I'm ready to make a change. I will break free of this. I am free, and I am whole. I am complete, and I'm disciplined over my impulses. Okay, and then how about the trigger of, competitiveness stemming from insecurity? Okay, I could say something like, I'm always loved unconditionally. There is enough love and happiness for everyone, and there is no actual competition to be me. I have nothing to prove. I do not need to earn love, for I'm innately loved. Love is my natural, effortless state, and it is within me. So, every time we follow through on this process, we're being reborn anew, and we're consciously changing our internal responses to our life, and our brain and body will follow the Spirit's will's intentions. So trust the infinite power of our consciousness that aligns and molds our entire experience of our physical reality, and with time, the neurochemistry will begin reconstructing itself to match the new theme of consciousness that we're endorsing, and the stronger the attachment, the longer it may take to rewire, but it can be done through consistent effort, right? Neuroplasticity. And the inner work is a contemplative lifestyle practice that brings powerful change through everyday mundane moments to hold infinite potential. So nothing extravagant is necessary. We just need to consciously be aware and really, it sounds like, really take advantage of the pause in between the situation and a response to it. We don't have to be reactive. We can be responsible. Right? We can be responsible. And so looking forward to good things here. And, well, I'll see you as I go live here in an hour on Facebook. So we're going to talk about how to seal court records and how to do pro se litigant activity in court and legal research. So take care. Talk to you then.